A correspondent candid with 60 Minutes' Lara Logan.
Michael Morton was just an ordinary guy in Texas. He kissed his wife one morning, went to work, and when he went to pick his son up from daycare, found he wasn't there.
So I called home. There was an odd voice on the phone that answered. He basically said I needed to come home now.
He discovered that his wife had been not just murdered, but savagely beaten to death, and in a very short time was accused and then tried and convicted.
I didn't do this. I'm sorry, what? I did not do this.
Michael Morton spent 24 years, 7 months in prison for a crime not only we are sure he didn't commit, the state of Texas is sure, everybody now says he did not commit.
Men I don't know shake my hand, and women I don't know come up and hug my neck, and people give me stuff. Some wonderful man. He gave me a Chevy Tahoe. He didn't know me from the man in the moon.
He has a kind of grace about him, and a sort of a gentle, calm.
That's the one thing that prison gives you, constant introspection. It's kind of like checking into a monastery in a way. What actually ends up happening to you may not be the most important thing, but how you deal with it is.
This is a guy who, while he was in prison, got a bachelor's in psychology and then a master's in literature. I'm Andy Corton, I was the producer of the story. You know, he was quoting Nietzsche repeatedly in our interview. We were like, whoa.
If you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back at you, and it affects you.
I'm not even sure what that means, but I know he knows. I'm Anya Borg, and I co-produced this story. You know, Michael's interview in entirety was something like 2.5 or 3 hours. By the end of it, we were all drained.
You've got that sick feeling in your stomach?
Everywhere. And I didn't know about my son. You know, how is he? Is he okay?
When Michael talked about his son, it was hard for me to keep going sometimes.
He was the center of my world right then. Everything was for him.
It was 6 weeks after Michael Morton's wife, Christine, was murdered that the sheriff showed up at his door to arrest him.
I remember saying something along the lines of, "You've got to be kidding. No. And they literally pulled my son out of my arms.
The relationship between Michael Morton and his son, I think, transfixed all of us. The fact that this little boy saw his mother murdered, saw his father sent to prison, probably came to believe at some point his father did this. At the very point when the father needed the son and the son needed the father, they were ripped apart.
I mean, he never has another normal moment with his son until more than 25 years later.
You can only imagine what it was like for the son to find out, oh my God, what people told me is wrong. Dad didn't kill Mom. And it was John Raley, this attorney who got Michael Morton out of prison, who brought Michael and his son together at his home.
But after dinner I thought, okay, it's time. So I said, Michael, let me get you a cup of coffee. I want to show you something in the backyard. And I said, take all the time in the world. You've got it.
With the lights off back there, we sat on this garden swing, and there was this organic, just natural flow of words and feelings.
It wasn't awkward anymore.
No, it wasn't. It was so good.
This means a great deal to him. It wasn't like his son was standing there when he walked out of court. His son has had to come to grips with this.
Not long after Michael got out, his son, who's married, they had a child, a daughter. The daughter is named Christine, after Michael's wife, who was murdered.
I think they call her Chrissy for short. Michael sent me an email the day that she was born. He was just ecstatic. One of the things that he's most committed to is to be close to them and to really, you know, work back to being a family.
This is going to work out. It's going to be a present from heaven. It's going to be normalcy. I don't want superlative fireworks and wonderfulness and, you know, endless whoopee. Just give me normal.